The Chicago Bears just made a huge signing. That's exactly what we needed. And it's a typical move by GM Ryan Poles. A really good fit, but not even coming close to resetting the market. And it's just smart football economics across the board throughout this free agency. The Bears just signed former LA Rams starting center Coleman Shelton to a 1-year contract. I'm going to go to this profile on chicagobears.com. And what's up? I'm Sean. This is Sports Talk Bears. Hey, we are growing so fast as a community. Would love to have you a part of it. Hit the subscribe button if you like the material. So let's get to the story. The Bears just signed former LA Rams starting center Coleman Shelton to a 1-year contract. Also, we've got DJ Wanham. He's also a target of the Bears at defensive end, and he's expected to do his free agency visit in Chicago tonight. Things are just starting to pick up here, but let's talk about Shelton. Shelton, he's 28 years old. He entered the league in 2018 as an undrafted free agent, but he's been with the Rams since 2019. He's appeared in 73 games of 32 starts, including starting all 17 games at center for Los Angeles in 2023, just this last year. He was on the field for 97% of the team's snaps last season. So all in all, Shelton, he started 30 games over the last 2 years for Sean McVay. New Bears center. Yes, I said it. It's good to say. Coleman Shelton, our new center. He was the 17th ranked center in the league with a 66.1 PFF grade. And last season, he gave up 34 pressures and 2 sacks in 671 pass blocking snaps. And that's per PFF. That's pretty good there. Also, the 12th best run blocking center with a 74.6 grade and previous experience in a Shane Waldron-like system. He's also an improving player. He's still young. Man, there is a lot to like here. Don't get me wrong, it's not a splash signing, but a definite upgrade at center. And we now have options here with the previous signing of Ryan Bates. He can move along the offensive line, but now there's competition at center. And I think Shelton, he is going to be our starting center, at least for the time being. And I'm okay with that. This ends up being a pretty great option for the Bears in free agency among centers. It's really under the radar too. And that's for one reason. He wasn't supposed to be available. Check this out. Rams center Coleman Shelton, he wasn't necessarily scheduled to be a free agent. He was off a lot of teams' radar, but he had a void in his contract, and it triggered with at least 55% of offensive snaps played. And that's according to PFF cap expert Brad Spielberger. Shelton, he started every single game last year for the first time in his career. He had 1,114 snaps played, and as a result, he became eligible for free agency last week. He needed a 55% threshold. He made over 90%. Sheldon, he's also familiar with Waldron. Earlier in his career, Waldron was not the offensive coordinator then, but he was the passing game coordinator for the Rams in 2020. And Shelton, he was a backup center behind starter Brian Allen. However, he'd be very experienced in the Rams style of offense that Waldron is expected to bring to the Bears. We know that's what he's going to run. So the familiarity there is fantastic. He also has experience playing in Chicago Bears offensive coordinator Shane Waldron's system, as I just said. Waldron was a passing game coordinator when Shelton was a backup center with the Rams, and he brings with him the same system experience, so he's ready to hit the ground running. Additionally, Shelton, he brings experience in making a Super Bowl run. The Rams, if you remember, they won it all in 2021. This experience, it certainly doesn't hurt, even though he wasn't a starter at the time, but bringing this experience to a team, honestly, we're still learning what it takes to play in and win big games is just a big thing. And this is great for an up-and-coming team like us. Once again, we're a young team that could learn what it takes to play in and win big games because there are plenty of close games in 2023. The Bears, they just lost late. Shelton as well, his athletic profile. He's quick, very athletic, and I think this is just a sneaky good fit with the Bears. This offensive line too, it's transitioning into being a younger unit. And Shelton, he's only 28. He's still young. Not only is he young, but he brings plenty of experience to help the Chicago Bears win some games. And he's 6'4", 299 pounds. Like for standard NFL reference, that's a little light for NFL centers, but not for one with the scheme that we play. We run a wide zone blocking screen. We say that 10 times fast. We run a wide zone blocking scheme. Thank you. As you know, that requires a more athletic center, one that can get out and move. Sometimes he's required to block at the second level of the defense. I mean, it's really important to have this athletic profile, and he fits the scheme so well, especially for a mobile quarterback. All keys, all clues are pointing to, especially with spots being dried up of where he could land. I think we're keeping Justin Fields. So he being able to move, being able to hold blocks, being able to even block at the second level of the defense. Shelton, he's a really good fit for a mobile quarterback like Fields, and I like it for that reason as well. And blocking the run. That's actually his strength. According to PFF's grading, he ranked 17th overall last year among centers, while he was graded 12th overall in blocking the run once again. It's just exactly what the Bears needed to do going into free agency, right? Look for a bridge type situation with a veteran center. This is it. And have him for a year or two starting at the pivot. Potentially, we can then draft a center who can be gifted the time needed to learn the position at the pro level. That's very important, because for those that understand this, center, it's not the easiest position to go to pick up and run with as a rookie in the NFL. For instance, if you look at last year, remember John Michael Schmitz with the Giants, Joe Tippmann with the Jets. They were super highly touted coming into the league in last year's draft. They were high-end prospects, but let's look at the results. Tippmann, he was graded out 22nd overall among centers, while Schmitz, he was 36th in a 32-team league. They were top prospects at the position, but they struggled in year one. That's what we want to avoid. No matter who we draft, even if we have Powers Johnson, we don't necessarily want him to start at center right away. We want him to shift over at guard while he's still learning, and this enables us to do so. So now we have Shelton, who will be a starting center, 2 years proven experience manning the middle, and Shane Waldron's scheme, which runs very close to that of McVay. You guys know he's from that coaching tree. And also, we have the acquisition of Ryan Bates. That both of these are just really good moves. He's not expected to start at center, and I'm talking about Ryan Bates, but he provides real competition at the position, while also providing quality reps elsewhere on the line. He can bounce around. We're now protected from being SOL in the event of a Tevin Jenkins injury or if Shelton misses time, and we essentially have a younger version of Cody Whitehair at center, and also at a fraction of the cost. Cody Whitehair, he was in his heyday. He was a fantastic rotational piece of our line. He was very valuable. He just outstayed his welcome. He was getting too old, and his cap hit was just so high. We had to release him. Getting Bates, that gives us a newer, younger Cody Whitehair, and I'm just really glad that we made that move. Poles is going to figure this out. Everyone gets FOMO, right? Everyone judges before the job's done. But with that being said, there is still lots of work to do still, and we've lost a lot here. Some of them are good losses, but let's go through these. Bears center Lucas Patrick, good riddance. And backup Dan Feeney, they're both free agents. Cody Whitehair, as I talked about, a center and a guard. He was a salary cap victim as a starter who was benched last year. I think he had like a $13 million cap hit that needed to be gone. Yeah, he had the team's fourth highest salary cap cost. It was actually $14.1 million. The Bears also have their third-year center, Doug Kramer, but he's played only 2 offensive snaps, 3 special teams plays in his 2 seasons. He's not it. We just still need more depth. And I would absolutely love to add a starting guard into the mix, whether it's free agency or in the draft, possibly Joe Alt as our new left tackle. I'm not sure if Braxton Jones is the solution there. It just depends on how the draft falls. And in another recent pickup, let's talk about a pickup that I haven't talked about yet on this show. The offensive line is getting more attention, and this is from yesterday, so bear with me. The Bears, they bolstered their offensive line depth on Wednesday. They agreed to sign Matt Pryor to a 1-year deal, and that's once again another short-term 1-year deal for depth. And this was confirmed to NBC Sports Chicago. Pryor, he's 29. He's an offensive tackle with guard versatility. Once again, a very good, versatile rotational piece for our offensive line. A little bit about him. He was drafted in 2018 by the Philadelphia Eagles. From 18 to 20, Pryor played in 27 regular season games and one postseason game for the Eagles. In 2020, he played 6 games at right guard, 3 games at left tackle, 1 game at right tackle. I mean, so versatile. And Bears assistant general manager Ian Cunningham, he was on the Eagles staff when they drafted Pryor. And this is happening once again, yet another connection linked to Cunningham. Recent acquisition Ryan Bates, he also originated in the Philadelphia franchise, and Cunningham, he's just proving to be an important asset in building this roster alongside GM Ryan Poles. Ian Cunningham is a huge asset, and this is just another example of that. Looking more about Pryor, he played for the Indianapolis Colts in 2021 and 2022. His time overlapped, as you can guess, with Bears head coach Matt Eberflus. In 2022, Pryor, he started the season as a Colts starting left tackle before shifting to right tackle and then to right guard. So he does have starting experience. He is a great depth piece who can start across the line once again, just like Bates in a pinch. And it's another really good, cheap, inexpensive, short contract term signing. And then per PFF, Pryor, he gave up 31 pressures, 6 sacks, and 367 pass blocking opportunities in 2022. So he's not a superstar, but yet again, just another really good depth piece. And you guys, this is better news than you think. We do have a solution in the interim at center. We've got tons of competition at the position. We've got 2 other rotational players that can play all the way across the line. And this is going to solve our panic mode when Tevin Jenkins gets hurt or someone else on the line goes down. We are doing what we should be doing in free agency. We should be building depth. We should be filling in this team and not just going for the something shiny, not just going for these big signings, because you know what? It screws up our cap. It doesn't really help us when the season gets deep, because with injuries, we just couldn't keep up last year. And I think this is a big signal. Let's get depth in free agency. Let's take a couple big swings, and then let's trade this pick and fill in these big marquee positions, these big important positions, these premium positions through the draft. I'd still like to see us take a swing at wide receiver. I know that's going to happen. Stay tuned. I will talk about it then, and you guys are just the best. I have the best viewers on YouTube. Bear down, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya.